Let me tell you this. I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, but just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming. Long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Ooh, it's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there, yeah, beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming. A long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Whoa, yes it will. What you gonna do, son?
I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming.
A long time coming, but I know a change gonna come.
Oh, yes it will.
Hey, then I go, tell a story. Then I go down to my brother. Black Lives Matter, y'all. You know what? And I say, brother, my brother, will you help me? Will you help me, please? Will you help me, please? Help me, please. But he winds up, you know, knocking me back down on my knees. Back down on my knees I go.
There's been times that I thought I couldn't last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on.
It's been a
It's been a long
time coming.
long time coming, but I know a change gonna come.
change gonna
Oh, yes it
Good morning. Welcome to the 2021 Martin Luther King service, our annual service. I'm Thornell Jones, and I would like to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Annapolis. UUCA is a place where everybody's welcome. It doesn't matter what you believe, who you love, or where you came from. We're a questioning church, where we try to understand how to love one another and be better and better at it. If this is your first visit, we welcome you and ask you to fill out one of our cards so we can keep in touch with you and also hear what you like about us so we can improve. I would ask you to join us, everybody, in reading our covenant. Love is the spirit of our people, and service is our call. To build the beloved community, to seek fuller truths in love, to dwell together in peace, to offer aid and affirmation, and to live with one another. This is our covenant. Courage is an inner resolution to go forward despite obstacles. Cowardice is submissive surrender to circumstances. Courage breeds creativity. Cowardice represses fear and is mastered by it. Cowardice asks the question, is it safe? Expediency asks the question, is it politic? Vanity asks the question, is it popular? But conscience asks the question, is it right? And there comes a time when we must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular, but one must take it because it is right, said Martin Luther King Jr. in his autobiography.
Wade in the water. 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 God's gonna trouble the water.
Well, who are these children all dressed in red? Well, they must be the children that Moses led. Oh, children, wade in the water. Wade in the water. Children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Well, who is the young girl all dressed in white? Well, she must be the children of the Israelites. Oh, children, wade in the water. Wade in the water. Children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade. Wade in the water.
God's gonna trouble the water. God's gonna trouble. God's gonna trouble. God's gonna trouble the water.
Good morning. My name is Julie, and I am going to share the story for our Wonder Box this morning. I'm going to share a story from John Lewis titled Walking with the Wind. John Lewis was a civil rights champion and a great American leader. He told this story of his childhood at the beginning of his book. It begins that one afternoon he was playing out in his Aunt Seneva's yard with a bunch of children, about 15 other kids, cousins, siblings, neighborhood friends. And all of a sudden the wind started picking up. Lightning flashed overhead far in the distance. And suddenly he wasn't thinking about playing anymore. He was getting scared. Aunt Seneva was the only adult around, and the sky blackened and the wind grew stronger, and she herded them all inside. Her house was small, but it felt particularly small on this morning with all of the children squeezed inside. The wind was howling now, and the house was starting to shake. They were scared. Even his Aunt Seneva was scared. And then it got worse. The house was beginning to sway. The wood plank flooring beneath them began to bend. And then a corner of the room started to lift up. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. None of them could. The storm was actually pulling the house toward the sky with all of them inside of it. That was when his Aunt Seneva told them to clasp hands, to line up and to hold hands, she said, and they did as they were told. Then she had them walk as a group toward the corner of the room that was rising. From the kitchen to the front of the house, they walked, the wind screaming outside, sheets of rain beating on the tin roof. Then they walked back in the other direction to the other end of the house as it began to lift. And so it went back and forth, 15 children walking with the wind, holding that trembling house down with the weight of their small bodies. Mr. John Lewis compared this experience to what it's like in our society. We're not much unlike these children in that house, rocked again and again by the winds of one storm or another. The walls around us seeming at times as if they might fly apart. It seemed that way in the 1960s at the height of the civil rights movement, when America itself felt as it might burst at the seams. So much tension, so many storms. But the people of conscience never left the house. They never ran away. They stayed, they came together, and they did the best that they could, clasping hands and moving toward the corner of the house that was the weakest. And then another corner would lift, and they would go there. And eventually, inevitably, the storm would settle and the house would still stand. But John Lewis knew another storm would come, and everyone knew that they would have to do it all over again. And they did, and we still do, all of us, you and I. Children holding hands, walking with the wind.
I offer these words now from the Native American tradition as our prayer this morning. Earth, teach me. Number 551 in our great hymnal. Let us pause, contemplate, think on these things. And as I read, you're invited to put into the chat a passage, transition, homecoming, blessing, whatever it is you think needs to be said, whatever is on your heart. Earth, teach me stillness as the grasses are stilled with light. Earth, teach me suffering as old stones suffer with memory. Earth, teach me caring as parents who secure their young. Earth, teach me courage as the tree which stands all alone. Earth, teach me limitation as the ant which crawls on the ground. Earth, teach me freedom as the eagle which soars in the sky. Earth, teach me resignation as the leaves which die in the fall. Earth, teach me regeneration as the seed which rises in the spring. Earth, teach me to forget myself as melted snow forgets its life. Earth, teach me to remember kindness as dry fields weep with rain. Today we give thanks on this special MLK Sunday, but we also come as a people worried with our fears and anxieties not knowing how our world is evolving, not understanding the hate. But we pray for courage this morning and the ability to be vulnerable with each other. Let us be reminded that we are not alone, that there are people there willing to reach out and touch us and talk to us and do virtual coffee and conversation with us. Let us just reach out and touch someone when we need to. Give us continued strength as we think about the activities of this week in our country. We pray for peace. We pray for love. We pray for calm. We pray for hope. Blessings on this community. Blessings on all that you do. I pray a hedge of protection around your families. And I pray that we keep doing this good work. May it be so.
We're reading A Network of Mutuality by Martin Luther King Jr., which is found in our hymnal as number 584. We can read together. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied to a single garment of destiny. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. There are some things in our social system to which all of us ought to be maladjusted. Hatred and bitterness can never cure the disease of fear. Only love can do that. We must evolve for all human conflict a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. The foundation of such a method is love. Before it is too late, we must narrow the gaping chasm between our proclamations of peace and our lowly deeds, which precipitate and perpetuate war. One day we must come to see that peace is not merely a distant goal that we seek, but a means by which we arrive at that goal. We must pursue peaceful ends through peaceful means. We shall hew out of a mountain of despair a stone of hope.